Welcome, everybody. So excited to pop on tonight and have Angie and Rossetti share with you guys about her epic Sapphire rank up in March. And she and I go way back about 20 years ago. And I mean, originally she was friends with my mom, but I mean, anyone that's friends with my mom and our family, of course, I have known her for a long time. And anyways, we go way back. Oh my goodness. She actually, her mom started first and then introduced Angie to the products. And she's been an OG, one of my very first ambassadors with me back when we had no idea what we were doing, except that we loved the products. We were excited to share with people. And I have just seen Angie blossom into an amazing leader. I mean, looking back when we've made our first videos, I mean, I think we both will crack up. I mean, y'all would crack up with us. You know what? It's the journey of personal growth and continuing to learn and pivot and be bad before you're great at something, right? And so Angie has just stuck with it. She has been so faithful, so consistent. I remember back when we started team calls, and she was like one of four people that was on, and she's like, just keep doing it, keep doing it. People get the drift. Like, it's okay, just keep doing it. And so, anyways, I'm just so excited to announce her as a Sapphire ambassador on our team, and I am so excited for you guys to hear how and why and when she started. So Angie, why don't you kick us off with when you started and why, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that introduction. And I will say it's the first time really that I can accept the term OG, right? So, because I might be one of the older ones here, but I'm like, okay, I'm okay with taking the title of OG for this thing, anyways. So, yeah, I got started in April of 2015 because my mom had tried the pink drink. I was on social media very little, so I really didn't know what Megan was posting about. And my mom's like, hey, this might help you with your migraines. And so I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. And literally a couple days passed. Like I tried it for a couple days. We were heading to Cincinnati and I called my mom. I'm like, hey, can I get some more of that pink stuff? Like I really like it. Nothing was happening with the migraines at that moment because I'd only taken it a couple days, but I'm like, we're going out of town and I got to have some more of that stuff. Like I was addicted to it very quickly. I met my mom on the side of the road by the railroad tracks, and we always tease about that being our natural drug deal that we did. I grabbed the products from her. We scurried off to Cincinnati. And by the time I got there, I had been reading up on things and I called Megan. I'm like, I need to order this for myself. And she's like, okay, no problem. And then, so I was like, nope, not putting in my social. Because back then, in order to get the best discount, you had to put your social in. She's like, it's no problem. Don't worry about it. Just put it in. If you're not doing it for a business, you're not going to make any money anyway. So I was like, okay, we didn't know what we didn't know, right? And so we had 5 people in our family, and I knew darn good and well I was going to be buying it for my kids and my hubby and all the things. And so I went ahead and did it. I put my social in. My husband's like, do not do this as a business. Cause I had done several network marketing companies over the past 30 years and didn't really make like significant money to where like my 1099 actually showed that I made money according to the money that I spent on everything that I was purchasing. And so the first month that I got a paycheck, I called my husband frantic because he was like, do not get a 1099. Okay. So I had made $400. And honestly, I didn't really know how I had made that, but I had shared with a couple, that was in April. So then I got the paycheck in July. I had shared with a couple friends, June or July, because they were sick. And like, I was like, how could it hurt you any worse? You're already like feeling like crap. My one friend was in out of the hospital. She was like a test candidate for this issue she was dealing with. So all of a sudden people were trying it. And I literally told my friends, I'm like, listen, if you want someone to like do this as a business or whatever, that is not me. I am not your girl. I'm just doing this because I love the products. And I had to call my friends back afterwards and say, I am not a liar. I'm sorry, but I am going to work this as a business because there's so much potential here. But when I called my husband, he's like, oh my gosh, what? I'm a little dramatic. Those of you who know me. And I was like, oh my gosh. So he's thinking something's wrong with the children. I'm like, oh no, babe, sorry. Everything's fine. It's just that I just got a $400 paycheck from Plexus and I don't know what in the world's happening. And he's so calm and collected. He's like, well, babe, if you just got a $400 check and you don't know how you got it, you're going to work this business because if it's that easy, And so, like, I would go back and say, it's not really easy, but it's doable. It's so doable. Those of you who don't know me, I have 7 kids. I've been homeschooling for almost 25 years. I have almost 13 grandkids now. We have multiple businesses. And so I'm just busy. And I find that busy people make the best business partners. As a matter of fact, that is my verbiage that I use these days. When I'm messaging someone and they're like, oh, I'm just so busy, I'm like, that is why you are going to make the best business partner for me. And people love that. And I just told a girl recently, she quoted it on her Facebook recently. She was talking about, she is one of the busiest people I know. And my daughter-in-law was telling me, and I'm like, girl, tell her to get a bigger plate. She said her plate was full. I'm like, get a bigger plate. That's what I've been doing, and that's what you can do. And so, literally, that is what I'm telling people, and it is making a difference.
Awesome. So you kind of answered the first couple questions that I had was, why did you start to share and when did it become a business? So I didn't realize that you had done network marketing before Plexus, and I actually was like scared to talk to you about that. Like I was I don't know, I was intimidated or whatever, and I didn't really know what I was doing either, but I was excited to share. I just knew the products could help a lot of people. And so that was just kind of the culture of just people that started in those first 6 months to a year of us starting Plexus was just like, we're sharing and we're excited. And, we didn't always know how we were making the money, but we're like, we just keep helping people and they're helping their friends. And it's
Yeah.
just so fun. So, give us a little bit of a like a timeline of your journey. Like, did you go Emerald really fast? Like, what was that? What did that look like?
So, I went silver pretty fast. I even just recently saw that I had gone ruby in about a year, but then I didn't hit emerald until the 4-year mark. So it was April. It's interesting. I joined in April of 2015. I went emerald in April of 2019. And so I have been at emerald since 2019, April of 2019. So this month, like 5 years, although I'm not there anymore, right? So it was just a lot of things were happening in my family. And I look back now and I know that it was God's protection over me for that time because I know God is sovereign and I know his timing is 100% perfect. But during that time frame, I hit emerald in April. That month, the second month, I still maintained emerald, but then I lost my rank for 10 months. And I just kept the faith. I just kept believing that God was going to send business builders. And so for 10 months, I didn't hit it. So then April of 2020, I hit emerald again, and I have held my rank ever since then. And I'm thrilled with that. Like, we got business builders and we would maintain anywhere from probably 18 to 2200 points a month. But I'm going to tell you, like, I've been consistent. I have continued to post. I continue to reach out. And sometimes people are like, how at Emerald are you still finding, 5, 6, 7, 12, 20, 27 one month new people? And it's just because I'm consistent and I continue to reach out and believe that everybody needs what we have. Like, you have to have that belief. One of the things I tell my team is believing is seeing. This is like providential. Like, this came from the Santa Claus movie, okay? Believing is seeing. Seeing isn't believing. You can see it all you want. You can see me do it. You can see Megan do it. You can see people hit these ranks, but you have to believe deep inside of you that it's possible for you too. And I want to create that for my team so they can see that as a possibility.
Love it. And just for the new people that may be listening to this call, silver is when you help 3 people. Okay. Senior silver is when you help 9. Gold is when you help approximately 17. Okay. And then we go up from there. So senior gold is approximately 50. Ruby is approximately 100. You can actually earn it with less than that, but just for round numbers, I like to use that. Senior ruby is 150. And then emerald is around 300 people. And that is team wide, right? It's not you personally signing that many people, but it's you developing people on your team and you introducing the opportunity to people, and or people that come in for products like me and like Angie all of a sudden are like, oh my word, we love this. We do a deep dive into the products or the testimonies or whatever, like flicks our little light bulbs, and we have belief, like we get excited about sharing what's helping other people. And we find other people that are excited also. And so Emerald is around 300, and that is the rank, the jewel rank in Plexus, where you earn the annual Hawaii trip, where you have the option to have the Lexus lease program and or the lifestyle bonus, which is awesome. And then the six-figure income. And Sapphire is the next level above that. So that's doubling the size of your team. And so Angie, she took 4 years to get to Emerald, and then it took 5 years to get to Sapphire. And Angie, has it been worth it? Has it been worth the journey?
1,000%. Because I mean, in the big scheme of things, what's 9 years? Like I'm living anyway. Excuse me, I'm living anyway. And to be able to help people and to add to our financial portfolio, yeah, it's huge. And not only helping people health-wise, but the biggest joy for me is seeing other people hit their ranks and change the trajectory financially for their family. That to me is life-changing. I love it.
Yes, so I love it too. And you know, when you see those numbers or those ranks, it's really a representation of how many lives are being changed, and
Mhm.
it's a representation of people being served, you know. And we say, you know, sales is a transfer of inspiration. And so, you know, those of you who are maybe just starting out and looking like, oh my word, how in the world would I ever conquer that mountain? Well, one, you don't do it by yourself, and two, it's a willingness to serve more people, you know. And Plexus is really a platform for even greater impact and influence than we would have otherwise, which is so cool. uh,
Mm.
so tell us, Angie, have you had some fears or learning lessons? If so, what
Oh,
have those been?
absolutely. Like I started doing personal development coaching about a year and a half ago. And when I started, I thought it was because I was going to work on my business. But in the long run of it, it was, but it really was some personal things that I had to work through because I was always afraid of what would people think. I mean, sometimes people look at me and they think, oh my gosh, you're so outspoken, you're so energetic. Like, surely that is not a fear of yours. But it really was. I really was fearing what other people might think or what they would say about me. And trust me, I have learned to go, you know what? If they're talking about me, at least they're not talking about somebody else. And that's totally fine. I mean, and then there's always the fear of, are you going to hit the rank? Are you not going to hit the rank? One time in my journey since Emerald, besides last month, I was going to push for Sapphire and I didn't hit it. And so, this time around, there was a little bit of that fear as well. But I learned how to map out my month and how to see what we had done last month, see what other people were planning to do on my team, and just really push through those things. And so I had to learn to overcome those fears and do it anyway. Like when I see fear, I'm like, I hit it head on, but I keep my pedal on the accelerator and move through it anyway, because there's no other option. If I pull back, everyone else is going to pull back because the speed of the team is the speed of the leader, right? Whatever the leader's doing, that's what the team is going to do. And I'll just be honest with you, my husband and I had a little CEO meeting this morning, and I was like, babe, everybody's telling me I should push for diamond. I mean, I do have my diamond earrings on. The most inexpensive diamond earrings that I have. They're wooden, but I love them, right? Um, and he's like, babe, 100% you're keeping your foot down because everyone else on your team wants to keep their foot down and you're going to go for it. And that is kind of scary. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's scary, but I'm doing it. And if I hit it, when I hit it, praise God. And if for whatever reason he turns it around a little bit this month, we're going to still keep going for it, right? We're just going to say, okay, Lord, if this isn't it, it's going to happen. Like we're going to keep going for it. So that's a proclamation that I haven't actually verbalized until right now. And it's on recording. So, oh my word.
Love it. Okay, we're gonna be cheering you on and working towards our own goals. So it's like that momentum that builds and breeds momentum, because when we see other teammates and other people on the team and, just in Plexus going for goals. It inspires other people to do big things.
So I just heard this quote. This is from the 10x is easier than 2x. So some of you may have read that. You may have listened to an audible, but it said, if you're working on an unreasonable goal and you're in the room with other people working on unreasonable goals, all of a sudden that unreasonable goal seems reasonable. If you're the only one, then yeah, it seems unreasonable. But if everyone around you has an unreasonable goal, like you just rise up together and you're like, this isn't so unreasonable. I love that. I'm like, that's going on my Facebook group for sure.
Yes. Okay. So what are 3 top tips you have for those who are working towards Sapphire or their rank that they are setting for this month?
Okay, awesome. Number 1, inspire your teams. Be the cheerleader. I have noticed so much. People want to be shouted out. They want to be recognized. It was not really a strong point of mine for a long time, but once, because it was something that I had an issue with, but now I don't. Like, I love the shout outs. And so do my people, and so do you, and so do your people. We can all act like we don't like it, but yes, recognition is free. We can shout people out from the mountaintops. As a matter of fact, I'm shouting out people because you don't know who sees it. The algorithm is so crazy. You might post it 5 times and 5 of your friends have not even seen it until you post it that 5th time. So shout your people out and inspire them in that way. The other thing I would say, and most of you that know me know this is a big thing for me, events are huge. And there's 2 events that I'm talking about. One, the Plexus events that they have, be there, because it's cliche, but leaders are born at events. You get inspired. It goes back to that inspiring thing. Like, you go there and you see those unreasonable amount of people there loving all the same thing. And all of a sudden you can catch the vision. You can be the sparkler for your people and for your team. And the other kind of events that I'm talking about is vendor events. Guys, find vendor events in your area, at churches, at convention centers, wherever they are. If you search on Facebook for your area, you will find them. I promise you, we did 30 last year. We have like 20 on the books for this year, and we're not stopping yet. We're going to keep going because you are expanding your network. That is the whole point of it. And then the other event that I'm going to mention, get in the room at events that don't have anything to do with Plexus. Go to a marketing event, go to a sales event. I'm going to a carnivore thing because my husband and I eat carnivore. I'm going to the national carnivore thing because there's going to be people there who don't know what Plexus is. And I'm going to continue to expand my network while I'm there. So that's 2. And then the third thing is your mindset. Because another quote that I heard, our eyes can only see and our ears can only hear what our brain is looking for. So if you are not having your eyes wide open, having your ears wide open, and thinking about this next thing, your brain is not looking for that. We have to train. I think there's a book, Train Your Brain. You have to train your brain what to look for. And once you do that, the possibilities are huge. That's what I got.
Love it. And you know what? This is the thing. Angie is showing what you all can do. So when you're hearing her, know that you can, if she can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I mean, that's the thing, is like, we're excited for the next generations in Plexus to rise up to jewel and gem and diamond status. I mean, that's why we're doing what we're doing. And that's why we keep going. Because I think sometimes we want to look at the fast, flashy, someone who ranks up really, really quickly, which is still, I mean, that's still cool. And there's things to learn in that from those people also. But I think it's really cool when I hear a story of someone where they didn't go diamond in 11 months, you know? I think that's so inspiring. And it speaks to Angie's character. Like, she's willing to stay in the trenches and continuing to help people and grow herself and learn. There's so much to learn. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to outgrow learning. We learn together. We thought we'd open
Yeah.
it up just for a few questions real quick, and then we'll close it down. But does anyone, let me turn it to gallery view really quick. If you can pop your video on, if you're decent or not putting kids to bed, feel free to unmute real quick and ask a question if you had one burning in your brain while she was talking. Most careers would never have this kind of money. Yeah, exactly. I mean, people work for decades for a six or multi six-figure income. That's so true. And network marketing speeds up that process. Anyone have a quick question?
Maybe this isn't as much of a Brandy here. I am always interested, or I like following the fact that your team is very good at like meeting together and having that sense of community. Can you talk to us about that? Like how you began doing that, how you have stuck to it? Like that to me is what this is all about. And I want to hear more about it.
Yeah, sure. So I started I think about 3 years ago. I started a group meeting with my team every Tuesday night. And sometimes it was just me. And sometimes it was one or two. There's been times it's been 15 or 20, but it's always a standing open meeting at my office. Now, I have the luxury that my husband has a business, and so I have an office space. But there were times when we would meet at Panera, or we would meet at another restaurant or something, or we would go to someone's house just so that we could always meet on Tuesday night. And if most of the people that were coming were from a certain area, we would go to them. And I was told early on that if you just keep doing it, just like I told Megan years ago, just keep doing it and people will come. And so this year, I rented a space at the Holiday Inn, which is about 15 minutes from my office. They have a room, and it was $150 a night. As long as I could have it for the whole day and evening, as long as I would commit to 6 months. And so I'm like, we're going to do that. So that way, it's an opportunity event. It's a sip and share. It's whatever people want it to be, but it's more of a central location than coming to my office. Plus, it's a bigger space. And the first month, guess how many people came? Except the people that were helping me. The second month, one person showed up, except for the people that were helping me. The third month, which was March, there were 6 or 7, but we were all ambassadors, but that's okay. This past Tuesday, month 4. Now we did have a surprise party for Madison going Emerald, but there were 16 people. And I'm like, we're just going to keep doing it because it's going to happen. I was talking with, Kimberly, she's under Jenna Hutula. I can't remember her last name, but they do something like that once a month. And she's like, in the beginning, nobody was coming, but just keep going. And so I feel like it's just the thing that if people know it's always happening, like come heck or high water, unless there's like a snowstorm, which doesn't ever happen in Tennessee. But if it did, I mean, it has, obviously we're going to stay home. But I feel like it is really important. The other 2 things that I've been doing is on about 2 months, 2-3 months now, we've been doing a Monday night accountability call. And it literally is, we hop on, everybody shares a high, a low, and their goal. And it's like, I give them like a minute. Like, I'm like, get it out in a minute, and just encourage yourself and one another. And it's okay to share. Doesn't even have to be Plexus related. It's just building community. And then every week on Wednesday night, I have a team call, and sometimes it lasts 30 minutes. Sometimes last night it lasts like an hour and 45 minutes because people, after I quit recording, people wanted to stay on and chit chat. And so if you just continue to show up, people get the idea that you're doing this no matter what. And it has clearly made a difference for my team.